Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Monday, August 3rd, 2009. This morning I wanted to go through something that's been changed in the latest release of both Visualworks and Object Studio that's coming out later this summer, and that is how you load things from store and respond to them in terms of visual feedback. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Typically, when you load from store, you get some visual feedback from a little overlay, and this is new in the next version of the product, and that overlay will sit on top of the launcher typically and show you progress that's happening. Let's say you're loading from a Phylum script though. Typically you won't get anything, and oftentimes if you're loading for a headless build, you probably don't want any response, you just want it to finish. You might want something to dump to standard out. But if you want to have visual progress, you can do something like this. Grab your overlay, store progress overlay, and tell it to subsume a window. Now if you built your own window and you had your own builder, you could have it subsume that window. Here I'm just telling it to grab the main window for the visual launcher. So I grab my overlay, tell it to subsume the launcher, and then when I'm finished, you scroll all the way down here, you see that I tell the overlay to restore the original, and that will get rid of it. So let's see what that looks like by going in here, killing this, and now what we're going to do is bring up our little build script here. So I'm going to build a bottom feeder image, and what it's going to do is start first bringing in a bunch of parcels, and then it's going to go to store. Once it gets to store, you'll see what I'm talking about. And now that we've started loading from store, you can see what's happening here. I get my little feedback thing up here, and it's telling me that it's loading and showing me the progress. And that will continue, assuming that I don't have to intervene and tell it to load a prerequisite by hand. It'll continue until I get to the end, and then it'll remove the overlay. Let me pause the recording again, and I'll show you that when it gets there. And you can see now that I finished my build, the visual launcher is sitting there with the overlay off because it terminated, I restored the original, and now I'm ready to work with this image. So this is what you can do when you start images up with a build script off of Phylum. You can have it overlay the launcher or indeed any window that's going to open up and have that overlay go away so that you can at a glance tell how your build is progressing. If you don't want any of that feedback, you just want it to progress and maybe drop some message to the standard out or to the transcript when you're finished, just adjust your script accordingly to do that, and then you can check that file or check standard out or look at the transcript. And of course if you're building a headless, you probably don't want to have it go to transcript, you want to look at some file it's reporting to. But in any case, these are the options you have, and you can tune this pretty easily in build scripts. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.